Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Stone Ridge Homestead. Today we're going to try and skid up some cedar logs. We have a few cedars along the edge of the lake here. We're going to try skidding them up with the snow machine. What we're doing is just going to be prepping for a job that we can do around the house. So when the new baby comes along, that I can work around the house a bit closer and be at more mom's disposal. So we're gonna see if the snow machine can do it. It's a little bit of a job to ask of a little snow machine, but we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, then we'll just wait and move on. I've learned that you can't fight nature too much, or else you're just fighting yourself and getting miserable about it. So the reason I'm doing this job is that, being as we're newly on to this homestead and arriving and building it from nothing in the last year and a half, 2 years now, is that there's really nothing pretty about construction. And you want to have your homestead a nice looking spot, a nice inviting spot, so that potential customers aren't worried about your product. They get a nice feeling when they do come to the place, come to the homestead, pick up their products and come and just have a visit. And overall, you want to just have a nice presentation. So what I'm doing with these cedar logs is I'm going to attempt to make a snake rail fence along the front of our property, parallel with the road, and also around my pond that I dug last fall, so that it can be a bit of a safety factor also for the kids and around the pond. So we'll give it a go. We'll see what we can do. And for anyone that's wanting a little advice on chainsaws, but what to get, what's your best bang for your buck, and that sort of thing, I would say the starting point that you could start coming into reliable saws. If you get something over about 60 cc's, you're pretty well out of all the homeowner person just trimming their shrubs and throwing away their saws. You'd be out of that range at 60 cc's and up. Where I also found you can get your best bang for your buck is if you find older series pro saws. You can often find them at a good price. This would be a 266 Husqvarna 266 with a Johnson Red recoil on it. That was quite a saw back in the day. They're extremely simple. There are parts everywhere, and you can pick up one in really good shape for probably $300 or less. If I was to recommend a saw, I would say probably go with a 268 or 272 Husqvarna. In that way, there's a few parts that are obsolete with this version that you can't get, but I have so many of these saws kicking around. I have probably about a dozen of them, and I would have another dozen parts just kicking around. So that's why I like these saws, because I can keep them alive very easy, and you can basically rebuild the entire thing with about 5 tools. If you are going to go buy a new saw, stay away from the cheap Husqvarna. They're junk. Don't mess around with them things. Husqvarna still does make good saws, but they've kind of tainted their name by allowing themselves to reach out and advertise to the homeowners. They make junk now on the lower end. As much as I don't like to recommend Stihl, because I don't like them myself, but that's just me. They haven't degraded their reputation by going into the lower end too much. If you're gonna buy new, basically figure on you're going to spend at least $400 on anything. that will run half decent. But for about an extra $200 to $300, you can really upgrade immensely. So for about $600-700, you can step into a really nice saw that won't give you nearly as many issues. That's just my take on it. Enough of my chin wagon. We'll get back to work here and get some logs skidded up and knocked down. So I don't know what it is about our cedar inland here, but we often always have hollow heart. Not sure what causes it, but it'll work good for splitting rails. I just remembered that I don't have reverse on the snow machine. And I parked it way up there. So you guys seen me make a bit of a donkey out of myself prior. We'll see if we can do it again. Alright, we'll see if we can get this log to the homestead. So I decided I'm going to switch to 10 feet. The thing with cedar is it tapers out so quickly that where you start splitting you might be able to get 4 pieces, and where you end you'd only get 2. Whereas at 10 feet I can split that in 2 and have a smaller end. They won't be huge, but they'll be nice size at the other end. Then you just put the big end on one side and the big end on the other. They equal out. Let's carry on. I really like this axe. I sell a few of them, made by Husqvarna, but they're nice steel in them. They're hand forged, so there's a little bit of care goes into them. The handle orientation is right from the factory. There's a good side and a bad side to this one. With this is called a carpenter's axe. With this heavy head, you have a lot of gas pedal, but with a short handle you don't have very good brakes. So I'm modestly strong-armed, so even I have times if I only use it one-handed and I go through a decent sized limb, to get it stopped is actually a bit of an effort. So I recommend two-handing it. It's really nice to have that much power though in a small package. Alright, let's get this log skidded up. So this could be the start of a little bit of an adventure getting this log out. I have to take it out onto the ice on the side of the lake and then down the shore and then back up into my property. My problem is that about 10 yards worth of offshore is pretty fluffy, soft bog. So hopefully we don't run into too many problems with this. Get this limbed up and give her a whirl. You're probably wondering why I bother limbing with an axe. The chainsaw would be a lot faster, and you'd be right. I just enjoy the little bit of work. Keeps a person honest. On top of that, it's just lighter to carry. Not as noisy. It's more quiet. You can listen to the bush and birds and such. If you guys could hold my tape measure for me, I'd appreciate it. What I'm going to want to do here is hook this log up to as close to the snow machine as possible. That way if I start to spin out and get stuck, then I can extend my chain maybe 5 feet, get the sled up a little bit, try again, and if all else fails, we may have to abandon the log till a later date. So once I get this going, I'm not going to be stopping. I'm just going to get after it. Well, it's working pretty good. Skidding out these cedar logs gives me something to do while I'm waiting for the big event of syrup season to start. Alright guys, that ends today's video of Stone Ridge Homestead. We enjoyed working out in the woods today, and getting to smell the nice fresh cut cedar and hearing the birds cheeping and the geese kind of honking a little bit. And I mean, spring is coming, just have to be patient. So we'll see you on the next one, and we would love if you would share our video, and that way it spreads us around a lot faster, and also if you would subscribe yourself, it'd be greatly appreciated. Anyways, have a great day.